Peace and blessings. This is Lisa Marie. I hope you are perfect, whole, and complete. I hope you're feeling wonderful. Oh my God, I woke up this morning, I was like, what's wrong with me? And I went and I ate and I pushed through. And Drew was like, guess what? I was like, what? It's like, you're tired. You need rest. Sunday is your day to rest because y'all be hitting that pavement. Like, I don't want to say hitting the pavement because I don't want to actually hit the pavement, but I do be like my sister, like I said, he's a guy. He walks fast, and I walk with them, and yeah, it's a lot. It's um, a lot of energy being used. I don't know. I'm gonna go another word, but so I gotta stop thinking it's so weird when I'm tired. And then I come home, and then I do 1,000 things. Yesterday I did 1,000 things. Yeah, this harmattan. It brings certain bugs. It makes your eyes dry. You gotta make sure sometimes I make one eye bigger. Oh my God, the harmattan. Every time it's the dry season in Ghana, but it's the harmattan specifically. This sand and stuff that's coming from the Sahara. So West Africa be getting it. It's the heat, right? It's just another like it's a vibrational frequency shift. It's a vibratory frequency shift. And so you got to allow for that. You also got to allow for cosmically too. You have to allow for I'm deeply affected by the astrological shifts too. The astrological shifts. So from we were coming out of Scorpio into, let me see, today should be into Sag, right? And there's a shift in that. And I'm very sensitive. I could feel every astrological sign. I feel it deeply, right? So going from the water and the depths of the Scorpio into the fire sign of Sag, it's like, and then Sag just travel, Sag's got to get up and do things, and so as soon as I feel the energy, I shift and I do too much. So I feel like I've been doing too much, and but I love getting it done. But I think like in the Afrocentric or in the design and decor spaces, especially particularly on YouTube or social media, um, we watch these things and we see these women doing so many things and be like, yes, I can do it all. I can put my wall. I can take down a wall in the house. I can put another one on. I can shiplap, whatever that means. I can soar and cut and frame and build and decorate and cook a great meal. Was all the home decor things and clean like nobody else. I can do all of these things, and the reality is, it's videos that's edited, and you don't have to get it all done. I think this place right here is the first place where I really decided that I'm just going to take my time. And I keep going back because I keep thinking like, no, I'm going to color, I'm going to paint, I'm going to decor, like, bring a lot of stuff. But the reality is I am very, 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 very particular as I'm growing. You change, right? So you see the sun. But as I'm growing, I realize that I don't want the same things I used to have, and what I really want is peace. And I really want to be in this bed, but it looks like I'm gonna have to sit up. What I want the most is peace, and in different seasons of your life, that peace looks so different. And in this season of my life, it's looking kind of beige. It's looking more earth tone. I know my sister is an astrologist. She always tells me that different ages, you start more identifying with different parts of yourself, astrologically speaking, that is. So, and I just feel like I could say as a woman almost 60, you know, you age differently. And nobody really said, they just talk about age like it's a one, no, like, oh, you're aging. No. You age differently than what you were before. Your life, the things you want, your experiences. Oh my God, I feel like I should just do wisdom because 58 is what I am. Everybody don't even live to 58. My mama passed at 59. Hold on one second, y'all. So I know my 58 years. And then as a woman living abroad for almost 6 years, that's another element, right? So basically, I feel like I have something to say in the space of aging, living abroad, being a black woman. It's a thing, being a designer, being a decorator, even in a design space, like the idea that your design or your design aesthetics will always be the same. I design based on, I think, my life. And my life is based on how I feel. My life is how I feel. But how I feel is my life. That's what my life becomes. My life becomes how I feel. As an artist, I think that a lot of artists can say that. My life becomes how I feel. I decorate, I design. For those that paint or sculpt, it's a feeling. It's a feeling. It's a feeling, and it's a feeling of time. It's in this time, this is how I feel, and so this is how I express. But they say art imitates life. So life is active. It's not stagnant. It's active. And most artists feel deeply in general. So whatever's going on in their lives, they're going to feel it. And because of that feeling, we get some of the most amazing pieces of artwork, whether it's the musician that went through the heartbreak, and you'll be like, oh, that was her best album. And she was in deep pain, but y'all was loving the album, so I get it, right? Or you might have went through a lot of chaos in a period of your life, so you just want calmness, so that's going to reflect. I always have to remember that beige is a color too, It's the neutrality of everything. Sometimes in life you need to go neutral. You don't closely identify with anything, especially in anything that happened to you at some point. This is when you're in the distancing stage, but it's not a false distance or a forced distance, but a natural part of things changing distance. It's just nothing you try, it's just time allowed, And so I do feel like I never thought I would be a brown, beige type of chick, But even these colors, even though it's still got that earthiness to it, I really love it. And more than that too, I love simplicity in that, because I don't always, there's still African print. I got a bunch of African print in the bathroom. We'll go in there too. I love simplicity and neutrality. Like, that's what I would really say. Hey, you look amazing. Oh, thank you. I literally just woke up, but thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for being here. I think I like, when I say neutrality, I realize, I was thinking, what is this thing with me and beige and not wanting to paint or color? It's like, I want to feel what already is, and in order for me to feel that is to be grounded, and the beige, it helps to kind of ground me, because it's that neutrality. It's like I don't have to stay in any one extreme emotion. I could go into neutral, and it's a beautiful place to be. It's like the place that I've been escaping for so long, I didn't always needed answers, always wanting to know why, always wanting to understand what was going on in my life and what's happening and why. But this color, the neutrality of the color I don't need that. I could be right here, right now, where everything just feels, to me, good. So I'm into the less is more, but not as a style or a statement or even a political statement. Like, it's none of that. Like, I'm a minimalist because the earth says we need less. No, the earth probably does need less of what we're putting out, no doubt. But I'm not having as much because I feel better like that. It's like almost being 60, you kind of know yourself. And as a woman, like living abroad, let me tell you what living abroad taught me about myself as a human being, as a designer. It taught me that I will move on your ass. Like, I will move on your ass. Like, I will move on my ass. Like, I will move. And that instead of acting like that's not true, embrace that is true. And live from that place. Because I accumulate a lot. Like, I got 2 other apartments besides this one. And one of them, I don't even think I need. And I got a whole bunch of stuff there, like new, like my new refrigerator, like stuff, bags, like where's all that stuff gonna go? I can't move because of my stuff. That's the only thing. I can't even move because of my stuff. I can't say, oh, I have nowhere to put my stuff. I can't bring all that stuff here. I would go crazy. I can't live with all that stuff. And so I'm smarter now because this happened a few times. You know, I lived a few places. And it seems to me I always have like 3 apartments. That number right there. So it's a number I have to think about. But I don't feel like I'm depriving myself because, oh, I really want all this stuff and I can't have it because I might move. No, I actually don't want all this stuff. So I was watching this video and this guy was talking about expat, things that Americans don't prepare for when they move to Europe, specifically Europe. Right? This is one of Europe. And of course, it's things like like the housing being smaller, because they was talking about how a lot of Americans come from big houses with big lawns. This is very white channel. It was, just saying. I mean, Eurocentric channel, and we're talking about moving to Europe for European people of American descent. And I mean, not all of us had the big house and the big suburb, but I will agree that we are used to malls and convenience, and so there's some overlap things that every American can probably relate to. But because I lived abroad for 6 years, I'm living abroad. I'm still living abroad. Small spaces is what I prefer. Not tiny, because I had the other apartment. And there's some places, the kitchen has to be big and the bathroom has to be big. The living room and the bedroom, it don't have to be that big. And really, if I downsize right, the kitchen don't have to be that big. You know what I'm saying? As long as I don't feel, I can do it. Anyway, what I was saying was, I can probably live in most places in the world after living in Africa. Because the water not running, the lights out, and how you navigate through that, how you figure it out, how you continue to live. Like, it's actually made me a better person. At least it made me a person that's more adaptable. And it makes the world more open to me because I won't have to get over those conveniences or inconveniences because I'm an American. I probably have not really been American in a long time. Now, I feel like sometimes I say what you are is what you do. And what you do is who you are. So if you're in another country and you have to do everything differently, then are you that person that was when you first came, or are you the person that now lives in that country? Like, it changes you, y'all. It changes you tremendously. But then at the same time, it also shows you that there's so much about you that's still exactly the same, like that's in you. And one of them, me, is that thing that something is wrong or something's not right if I am not constantly moving. So laying down on a Sunday when I work 6 days a week, and I'm working, it's physical too. It's crazy that I don't. And then when I go to myself, what's wrong with me? You're tired. So I just want to, maybe what age? I'm almost 60. What age am I going to get to that point where I realize, yeah, you're tired, and that's fine. I want to work on that. Like, I want to fix it, but it's not going to be a work on, Maybe that's something I come in with and I figure it out. But so, yeah. And I know too, being on YouTube, sometimes you feel like a person, like, when are you going to paint? When are you going to do this? When are you going to fix your house? It's fixed already. It's like, I keep thinking like, oh no, I'm going to get an accent wall, because I was thinking that yesterday. Like, I'm going to get this accent wall in the living room and one in the bedroom, but I'm not going to get it. I don't want to. Like, I know me, and I know life, and I know change. So let's talk about the integral parts of yourself. Because I'm integrating all of you, because that becomes something else. But if you don't deal with the different parts of yourself, when you start to become any of those parts, or move from those parts, you start thinking something wrong with you. You have to integrate the parts to understand then that's who you are, right? So what do I mean by that? Like, instead of saying I'm going to stay in one place forever, anything could happen. It could be a change of relationship, an epiphany, a spiritual growth spur, I'll go in a minute, like, because it's not that I want to go or trying to go or even thought that I would go. It's just that because I know one thing that is constant with me is always growth and change. You can see I'm very introspective, right? very introspective. Hello, pretty. Hello, Richard. I'm very introspective, right? So I'm gonna always be introspective. introspective. I'm gonna always be that. And I actually grow and change from every event. Everybody, I believe, does, or at least has the capacity, but I thought I have to do something about the change because the change is a person that is different. So that same person that sat in that same chair with that same color wall behind them, she doesn't even exist. It's not sad, it's beautiful. I love that. What I learned almost 60 years old is that we're not supposed to stay the same. Oh, no, let's say this one again because this is valuable. And I mean, it was even valuable when I said it and heard it. What I've learned at almost 60 years old is that we are not supposed to stay the same. That's why there's that saying, there's nothing constant but change. And it's real wild for me. Like, for me too, it's still wild, but I love it. If I would not, I would die on many levels if I did not or could not change. If I don't, some people think they like a world that's set. This is me, this is what I do. I feel like when I was in the States, I was gonna say back home, but it feels weird to say that now. When I was in the States, I felt like the culture was, I'm Black American, so I can speak from that culture. And it's probably the culture in general. This is who I am, this is what I do, this is what I like. And they will tell you, everybody know I like that, this, everybody know, you know I don't do that, you know, it's very much like acceptance. Now, I don't have that. But then don't get me wrong, it's very much accepted. I think that's people thing because in Ghana, I feel like it's accepted. This is who I am. This is what I eat. This is who I date. This is what I met. This is what I am. This is my social status. This is my economic status, and that's the way it is. It'll be forever. So it's not just American culture; it's people culture. But for me, who I was yesterday may not be who I am today, and I don't know what else to say about that. Like, how do you move around the world like that? You got family, you got friends, you got people you love. You got stuff that you accumulated, things that I'm starting to think like, if I started to travel more in the world, I would accumulate less. The things that I thought, everything for me is almost for the moment. At that time, I really wanted, I really needed it because I really wanted, I really needed it. But I'm not that person, so I don't want it, I don't need it. And wow, when you tell people that, they get weird. Like, you're going to leave, you're going to not, yeah, because it's a burden, it's a lot to carry, and it's just more stuff, and I really can't take it with me. I mean, literally, I can't even take it with me to the next city, let alone the next country or the next galaxy. So if you see me not doing, I mean, don't get me wrong, that clothes I accumulate because, you know, that's my art. Like, some people paint pictures or sculpt, or, you know, I design, but I even love design. So that's my art, my eye for beautiful patterns, fabrics, and colors. Because in the end, I'll be honest with you, and it's going to say a lot about, I'm not going to say American culture, I'm in Ghana, so I can give away every one of those clothing, and it happens. Let me tell you, the easiest thing to let go of and get rid of and people will accept is your clothes. I have never had a problem getting rid of every piece of item that I gave somebody wore. The furniture, all that, that's harder. But the clothes, it's the easiest thing to give. It's the easiest thing to give. So, you know, so I used to have, when I first came here, I used to have this beautiful armoire that I had designed, and it had the beautiful, I still have parts of it, but the doors were made, carved with anchor symbols by a wonderful carver, Kwame George, and from Accra Art Center, and it was beautiful. But the rest of and then it had a mirror, and it was made from mahogany wood, and it had the mirror made from mahogany wood too, but the rest of it was made from plywood, and it started falling apart because the mahogany wood is standing the test of time, the mahogany wood is very heavy, so I took the doors off, and I took the mirror off, but I got rid of the armoire because I was tired, it's big and bulky, every time I moved from one place to another, it started getting scratched up and falling apart. And it was more of it in my room than me. It was this inanimate object, but it had more space, and it had more, yeah, it had more my space than I did. And I was like, wait a second, this is not. So I got rid of it, and I was so happy. I didn't want to see closed doors, and I didn't want to hide my stuff, because then I buy more stuff to hide. I have stuff in there that I don't even like, I'm sure, because it's in the drawer. I cannot stand drawers, but I just learned this. I learned this when I got here. I realized how much I don't like a drawer, because I had a dresser in my last place, and now it's in, where's that dresser? It's in the guest house in Ultimate, and I want to see my stuff, because if I'm not wearing it, I'm not using it, I don't want it. I don't want stuff just to have stuff, because I might move too, and then I gotta move all the stuff that I don't want. I keep in mind the purpose is I might move. I probably will move, and most likely I'm going to move. I'm gonna do it. No matter if I don't even think that I'm gonna move right now. So I'm telling you that I'm going into the core of who I am, and I live from that now, instead of living in a delusional world where I'm gonna pretend like I'm not gonna do this thing, even though I don't feel it at the moment. I never feel it at the moment. I only do it when I feel it at the moment. It's a riddle. You'll figure it out. So, I didn't want a closet. I didn't want a wardrobe. I don't want to cover. I don't want to hide. I don't want to pretend. I want to see. I want to see. But now is what I see. It has to be neutral. Now I need to see beige, because I'm gonna go in that closet and I'm gonna pull out the most patterned, colorful, designed outfit. I am the color. I don't mind the beige background. I prefer it. It's about like changing the scenery. I guess maybe that's why I move. I don't feel like I move for scenery change. I feel like I move because I'm the scenery change. I'm the scenery that changes. So the backdrop has to be different. It's all me, right? I'm a Leo too, right? But it's all me. It's all us. And the background is the neutral palette to your ever-changing self. And I'm so intricate and diversely, sometimes deep, so I really, another thing too, if I could just go into another thing, is because I think deeply, I need a place to be able to allow those deep thoughts to come to life. If there's too much going on around me, it makes it hard. Okay, so I'll give you an example. I was watching a lot of certain things on YouTube, and I was like, oh my God, I hope I don't be watching this the rest of my life. Like, it was a month. It was to get over something that I was going through. And then one day I woke up and I absolutely could not stand watching it anymore. The thing that I thought I would be watching forever. It was for that moment. It helped me to heal and to get over. And now I don't want to even watch it. I tried to watch some other stuff that used to deal with what I was going through. But I healed what I was going through, or healing that. Even that stuff that seems clinical and maybe helpful, it's just not anymore. It's negative to me. It keeps you in the same place. But it wasn't negative when I needed it. It was medicine. It was perfect for the time. But I've gotten over so many things that I just want a lot of joy, or a lot of feel good. Just everything that it really feels good. But it takes time. So I had not been reading in a while, but I bought this book. It's called Buy Yourself the Damn Flowers, the Self-Love Guide to Growing, Healing, and Learning to Put Yourself First. I love this book. I've been bought it some months ago, and I'm only on page 57, but because I don't read it, because I was watching a lot of stuff. But I love this idea that somebody did some study or a test that can actually measure your frequency, your energetic vibration. So I'm going to read this to you. It says, lowering your energetic vibration. Your vibrational frequency is the intensity and quality of energy that you are operating with and experience. Dr. Shauna Freshwater, PhD, explains, emotions resonate with the vibrational frequency that they generate. The higher the vibrational frequency, the higher the expansion, and the greater the life force in your cells. High vibrational people have mastered the art of living at a higher energy frequency. These are enlightenment, look y'all, in numbers, 700 plus, peace is 600, love is 500, and acceptance is 350. measured in the Hertz frequency. As a result, they feel more gratitude and joy. Our vibrational energy is something we can change consciously through the actions we carry out every day. When you complain and compare, you are living in the lowest energetic frequency. Anger is 150. Desire is 125. Grief is 75. Guilt is 30. And the lowest of all is shame at 20. 20 hertz, I'm good. Every time you choose self-doubt over self-belief, judgment over acceptance, and shame over compassion, you lower your vibration, which affects the life you live. This is because our thoughts and feelings, which create our vibrational frequency, influence the perception we have of our circumstances and therefore the opportunities we grasp, or in this case, miss out on. This scale of emotional frequencies was originally coined by Dr. David Hawkins in his book, The Map of Consciousness Explained, a proven energy scale to actualize your ultimate potential, to track our levels of consciousness based on the vibration we produce from the emotions we feel. So the emotional vibrational frequency chart, like, I think this is dope. So 700 plus is enlightenment. You got there. You're there. 600 is peace. 540 is joy. 500 is love. 400 is reason. 350 is acceptance. 310 is willingness. 250 is neutrality. Oh, I'm only in 250. Okay. 200 is courage, which I use a lot, but that's not even that high. 170 is pride. No, we go down. 150 is anger, 125 is desire, 100 is fear, 75 is grief, 50 is apathy, 30 is guilt, and 20 is shame. So, I looked at this today and I thought, where do I kind of stay in? Of course, I was definitely in, grief, 75, low vibration. I guess there was fear, desire, anger was 150, which is more vibration than grief, which is interesting. Courage, courage is 200, and I definitely could use courage, but neutrality is something that I talked about today. So that's only 250. We want to get to 700, right? But after that, in a sense, I don't know if it's in order or like it's like this, nuances, but willingness. How do I get myself? I'm in a state of willingness. So like a willingness to change. Acceptance. I think I've teetered there. Reason. To be able to reason, is that to be able to reason? Yeah, I love that. I think I do the love. We're getting there. So we want to start love, joy, peace, enlightenment. I love that. I thought that was very, very beautiful. So just one more thing. 4, being oblivious of your own blessings. This external focus will not affect the other person, but it will make you build to the piles of privilege you currently possess that dozens of people wish they had as they compare themselves to you. While others have it so much easier because they started off in life on a higher rung on the ladder, crowds of people on rungs beneath you hope to have had the chances you did. To truly give ourselves the best shot at life, well lived, we must acknowledge the beauty in the life we are currently living in order to progress onto the next improved version of it. Otherwise, we will be at the mercy of people we hardly know anything about for the rest of our lives. And I love that part. It sounds like the gratitude. Now, let me say that. I am so grateful. I am so grateful that I had the nerve to do and to live and to be abroad for now, right? I'm grateful for, it's funny, you feel like you think people, I used to think, I guess maybe you need a lot of stuff to be grateful for. Maybe I never thought that, but you don't. I'm so grateful for it. Let me show y'all. So yesterday I had to put this thing together. Do you see that that clothing rack? I guess then I needed a closet, but I didn't need a closet. I needed a clothing rack. And I put the pieces that don't visually disturb me. The colors are not too much, but they calm me and they have meaning. Everything. And I'm so grateful for that. Like, I'm so grateful for my apartment. I'm grateful for what I had. When I don't no longer desire, I no longer desire or want it, it's not because it's not worthy or beautiful or didn't serve a purpose. It's that I moved up or moved out or moved about. My spirit and soul needs something else. But but whatever I'm feeling, it will always reflect in my decor, in my design, and in me. It'll always reflect. I just gotta learn to get some rest in between all of it, all my adventures of life. Sometimes the most grateful thing is to be ability to lay down and rest, you know. So I want to make sure I do more of that. When I go back to the art center and at work, I always feel absolutely exhausted. But it's not the work itself, it's just the movement. But we're gonna lay down. It's the movement. That's all it is. It's just the movement. And sometimes you miss out on a lot of life if you keep moving. It's funny that I move, but I don't move. I feel like I move with spirit. I don't move at a whim. I move because I've moved, you know? Yeah, I think when you go deep, you should know that the changes that you'll be able to integrate, you know, because you noticed it like, wow, you want to know how you move? Allow yourself to be. If you're in grief, then allow yourself to be there. I was thinking about the grief I experienced from the breakup, which I don't feel anymore, which is a beautiful thing, y'all. You do get over it, but I'm really grateful that I allowed myself to go through the grief, even though I didn't know what the ending would be or how I would get out of it. I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful because now that I'm over here on this other side in a lot of ways, I think totally, but you know, you never know where it shows up. Um, because you realize that that was just a stage, but in that stage, especially as a designer artist, you were able to create in so many different ways. Videos that maybe helped other people, designs, furniture. It even got me to neutrality. Even got me to, um, this period in my life, I just need not to see so much. I need to feel it, and I need to feel it in a cleansed and clean space. You know, I need to keep my mind open, you know. And so even the beige started. Now, I used to be like, oh my God, can I do beige? But you know, I don't know it's beige. I don't see beige. And now I know beige found me at the perfect time. I even changed a very colorful room that I would paint over and over again. At one point, I had 2 or 3 colors on the walls and went straight neutral. But I knew now, understand why. It was a place of safety, a place to process what I was feeling and how to integrate those into my everyday me. And I love it. I love it. I know, y'all. I'm philosophical. Oh, yeah. See, we're in Sag, and Sags are the philosophers. Yeah, and I'm feeling very philosophical. Like I said, I'm so sensitive to energy that the astrological signs, I go right in on it. And then it's a fire sign as well, so I'm a fire sign. So allow for your philosophical side to be incorporated into your design, your desires, your wants. Yeah, find that. Like allow the times to move you so you'll never be energetically blocked or creatively blocked. You won't. You'll know the moving into one as and the mood as another. It's just that the planet changes, the stars changes, the moon, the sun, the day and night. Like everything has a cycle. Nothing stays the same because we would die. There's a whole world. This is a whole planet, and everybody can't be facing the sun at the same time. Everybody can't be facing the sun at the same time. Not the same time, because then they wouldn't have the night. They wouldn't have the dark. They wouldn't have the dark shadow. They have to face the night too. So it's a beautiful thing. All right, y'all. For those that were here and stayed around for the energetic shift of Lisa Marie. So I don't plan on moving. I'm so grateful to be in. I was so grateful when I was in the countryside to have a place to heal and to be out of Accra. But my God, now I'm so grateful to be in Accra in this compound with the people. I need this right now, you know. I feel like I've learned a lot about like who I really am I remember towards like I was up there for 6 months straight at the countryside, but I remember thinking to myself that I remember saying I was gonna like live off grid and grow my own stuff and just be me. Oh, it's a horrible thought. When I think about not the living off grid, not growing my own stuff, but it was this idea that I, this other me that was such a big part of it, which was the designer. Is that the bird at my window again? Let's go see. The designer. Wait, let me just see it. No, I ain't getting up. I'm tired. And all that, I was like, I don't feel it. I don't want to do it. It wasn't true, but I, I am the designer and I am the artist, and I'm not gonna limit myself to where that takes me. But I do feel like I do need to be more in a city um, with country options. I need to be surrounded around people and culture. Like you don't see that a lot with me still, like as far as people. Um, but I can see more of that in my life, and I wouldn't mind living in other countries that may not be a black country too, or at least staying there for a while. You know, I can see myself in some European countries. I can see myself in Italy or France, or and those are the two that come to me. But some of the other ones, not so much. In other words, I'm a little bit of everything, and I don't want to limit myself. I like people more than I thought that I did, but maybe it's just not the same people in the same way, in the same. I love perspectives and thoughts and ways. I love good, great, deep, soulful conversations. I love to think in another language because I have to speak it. I want to challenge myself in those things. The one thing that I did love when I was learning Spanish, and then I went to Dominican Republic, and then I went back again, was speaking that other language that made my mind do something I can't even explain. But it has to be a language that I like, I feel connected to. I haven't really felt that here as far as the languages go. It's no offense or anything. It's just, yeah, it doesn't do that thing to me. But, so I'm going to keep myself open and keep moving forward, because at almost 60, that's when you realize that if you get 40 more years, you're blessed. Depending on how you feel, you might not want to live that long. But you could only get 20 more. 20 go fast. 58 went fast, you know? And that whole adage of you can't take it with you, oh my God. Oh my God. Because even you talk about legacy, leaving your children your furniture is a burden, not a legacy. If you have not decided to figure out how to leave them money or knowledge of how to receive it, then you might as well just live your life, because you're not much that you're leaving. You're leaving your presence and your will and your courage and all those other things. That's what you're leaving. And your ability to adapt and move on and be free. That could be a legacy as well. Think about it. All right, y'all. I'm going to rest. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for indulging. Peace and blessings.